have listed here the number of 24 Hall of Famers from the state of Ohio, Pro Football Hall of Famers. You can make a case Charles Woodson is the greatest player ever to be born in the state of Ohio. Smart enough to make the proper college choice.
And Rich, I know you've been talking and asking me a question, but I haven't really been listening. I'm really kind of focused on this phone right now.
To see that square light up.
Yeah.
Haven't
seen anything.
Where do the Butterflies rank right now?
Okay, so I mean, you're the one that hooked me up with throwing the first pitch, the Mariner game.
In Seattle, yeah. How does that?
That was the most stressful moment of my life. Oh God, okay.
Is he here?
Hold on, mic off.
Mic off. Okay, well done.
This is great.
This is great. Thune is pressing the button. He's talking to Charles Woodson right now.
Hello.
Okay. Is that Charles?
Yes. We are ready for Mr. Woodson, yes.
Okay, terrific. Oh, that's that Charles's handler.
And he's on hold, and I got the phone down, and I'm back on. I feel like a pro.
Okay. Is Charles is he Charles on the line, or was that a member of the Raiders?
That was a representative of the Raiders.
Okay.
He called him Charles. I, of course, called him Mr. Woodson.
Okay, so, all right, you're supposed to make sure that Charles is on the phone before you hang up, Nick. But I understand
that was
like you just threw the phone down. Like I could say, let's go to the phone line right now, and it could be completely empty.
Want to double check it?
No, I don't. At this point in time, I think we should just make sure it's a clean break. Woo. Let's go to the phone, because if it's not, we'll tap dance till he gets on the phone. Put it up on the phone line right now. This is great. Charles, are you there?
Hey guys, Charles and Mr. Woodson is on the phone.
A goat.
Both of them, all of the above.
A goat of the first variety here on the Rich Eisen Show. Charles Woodson, who leads, by the way, the National Football League in interceptions at the ripe old age. I won't even say your age, although in the wine business, it's fine.
There's no need to say the age.
You're ageless.
You just say, in wine business, you just say vintage. You don't even need to say the age.
The vintage of the 1998 draft here on the Rich Eisen Show. The number 4 overall pick in that draft here on the program. So what are your recollections of Michigan-Ohio State week, Charles, when you were there? What was your recollection?
Oh, man, it was, you know, my first 2 years, man, we didn't perform well, during, the season. And so the last game of the season, of course, being Ohio State, I mean, the pressure was on to beat that team. I mean, that was kind of like our, that was our bowl game, because we were, I want to say my first year, maybe 8-3, second year, somewhere around the same thing. So we hadn't lived up, to the hype those first couple of years. So that week of the Ohio State game, man, there was focus, on that game like that like you never seen before, because we knew we needed to get that game, man. That was going to mean that our season, though it didn't go as well as we had wanted to, that made our season to beat them, especially with them being what they were the first couple of years. I think my first year, I think they were undefeated, and they were going to have a chance to play for a national championship. So we were like, man, not on our watch. That's not happening. And so we went out there and performed.
And then this week, Charles, it's huge. I believe it's the first time somebody who's ever played in the Michigan-Ohio State game is going to be coaching it for Michigan. And Harbaugh pissed Bo off something fierce when he made a guarantee that they were going to win the game and go in the Rose Bowl. That was back in 1986. What do you think Harbaugh is saying to the kids this week in Ann Arbor, Charles?
Well, he has the experience of the game. I mean, he's been in it, so I'm sure a lot of what he'll be talking about comes from a place of his own personal history in that game, and explaining to them, what it means to play in the game. He'll certainly talk about, where this series has been the last, 8 or 9 years, how many games we have not won against Ohio State. And so he'll definitely impress upon them, man, the importance of this game and what they'll need to give in order to win this game.
Charles Woodson joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. What do you think of the job he's done?
Man, just a terrific job, man. I don't think anybody, most people, didn't have him winning, this many games. I knew going in, man. I felt like going in that I expected him to be right where he's at. He's a great coach. We talked about it when he first got hired, about his track record and what he's been able to do in his career as a coach. But he did a great job, man, of putting together a staff of guys that he has that are coaching under him, man, that can help expand his vision for what he wanted, and guys that can teach young men, how to play this game. And you can see it every Saturday when you're watching the game, man. This is a well-coached team.
And, how about Ohio State not holding up their end of the bargain to make this for all the marbles, Charles? How about that coming into the game? They didn't hold it up. We did. They didn't. What do you think of that?
I know, man. You count on Michigan. We don't count on anybody else. We only count on Michigan.
Yeah, exactly. We have to worry about our house, but let's worry about their house for a quick second. Ezekiel Elliott, what did you make of his post-game comments throwing the coaching staff under the bus? They all say that everything's copacetic going into the Michigan-Ohio State week, but what did you make of this playmaker calling out the coaches in the play calling, potentially rightfully so?
Yeah, man. I understand, man. The emotions are high. After a loss like that, man, and this guy's, Elliott is a heck of a player. But I thought the timing was off, man. I know his emotions got the best of him, and it does for a lot of us. When you play the game, they always say we have like 10 minutes, before the media, comes into the locker room. But sometimes 10 minutes ain't enough. Sometimes people don't get over things for weeks, months, years, and we're expected to get over a tough loss within 10 minutes. And sometimes they catch you at a time where you feel like I need to say whatever I need to say. I need to get it off my chest. And I know he probably, feels like, man, I had to say it. I needed to say it. But I bet you if he had a day to think about it, he probably wouldn't have done it. So I just wish he would have had more time, to think about that statement, before it came out.
Other than you being brilliant and smart and sharp, why did you choose Michigan over Ohio State, coming from Ohio, Charles?
Yeah, my older brother growing up was a Michigan fan, and I idolized my brother growing up. He was a football player, in my hometown. Well, he did everything: football, wrestled, and track, and all of that stuff. And I idolized him, and I started following Michigan. And in our part of the country, man, you're either a Michigan fan or you're a Ohio State fan. There's no room for both. And so because I grew up, at an early age, liking Michigan, it just grew as the years went on. And so I started loving Michigan, started hating Ohio State, and that's the way it played out. And
then did Ohio State come knocking on your door at all during the process of recruiting?
Yeah. I was recruited by Ohio State. But again, it was like I couldn't get over the fact of the whole rivalry aspect of it. It was like I'm a Michigan fan. There's no way I could go to Ohio State. And that's just what it was.
What do you think Brady thought of seeing Robert Kraft in the Ohio State gear over the week? I don't know what Mr. Kraft was doing in Columbus wearing Ohio State gear, but what do you think Brady thinks about that?
I didn't see that.
Yeah. They showed a cutaway during the game, and there's Kraft on the sideline wearing the nut, the old gray O, and a red pullover to protect him from the rain. I saw that.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't see that, man. But I'm looking for Brady to retire immediately.
Spoken like somebody who's doing battle in the AFC right now.
We'll retire immediately, man, and find somebody else to throw the ball for New England.
Yeah.
How about that?
Before we get to your current state of affairs in a minute, I want to ask you, how do you suss the Heisman race right now? You're going to cast a vote in a couple of weeks, I imagine. How do you suss that race, Charles?
Wow. I thought, early on, up until about, I guess 3 weeks ago, man, Fournette was the clear favorite. For my vote, I believe. But man, things are shaking up a little bit. I don't know. It's going to come down to the last couple of weeks. I know the running back from Alabama, of course, is high on the list. Clemson quarterback would definitely be up there.
You got that kid in your backyard right there, and McCaffrey, Ed McCaffrey's kid, Christian, is running like the wind for Stanford.
Yeah. So there'll be a few people in the mix, man. I'm gonna definitely have to do my homework, leading up to the vote, to make sure I can, make the best educated vote that I can going into that week.
In the meantime, you got a game in Tennessee for the Oakland Raiders, who are 4-6. How good is Derek Carr, Charles? How good is he?
Derek Carr is good, man, and only going to get better. You know, he's still a young guy, still learning the game, but we've seen flashes of brilliance, from him throughout this season. You know, we had I believe a 3-game stretch, man, where the offense was, had to be averaging 30 plus points, and you've seen exactly, what he's capable of. And now, comes a time where, the offense, last week wasn't on point, the way that you would want them to be, to where now there's a little bit of adversity. So you get to find out, how he comes back from that. And we believe in this young guy, man, that he's going to lead this team in the right direction. I think he's a great leader, for our team. And, we just look for big things out of him.
And then there's you, Charles. I mean, we could talk about the picks. You picked off Peyton. And I don't know, I tweeted out that it's not the first time you took something from Peyton Manning. I'm reminded how it was 1998. You kind of did that, 97, in a downtown athletic club.
Right.
But we could talk about all that. The thing that I want to talk to you about is you chased down Antonio Brown, Charles. You ran him down. Where'd this come from? How you doing
Man,
this?
Rich, man, I can run, man. I mean, I know that. I know all of the talk is about, losing a step, can't do this anymore. But I've always been able to run. So it's so funny to me when I hear people, act so surprised about something that I do on the field, as if I'm running down the field like an old lineman during games or something. It's like I can't understand, what people see when they look at the film.
Well, I mean, what they see is somebody who is not acting his age. A lot of people can't run at that age.
Right.
You know? I mean, look at me, Charles. Every single February, right?
But here's the thing, though, Rich. You're consistent. It's not like you got slower. You didn't get slower, right?
That's true. That's true.
I mean, I've always been able to run. I haven't got that much slower. Geez, I can still pick them up and put them down a little bit.
Yeah. And then you're picking people off. I mean, you're studying the film. You're neck up. You're all there. Yeah. It's all good. Is basically what you're saying, Charles.
Basically, what I'm saying is I've been doing this all my life, man. Why would it change now?
All right, let's talk about your wines real quick, because if people are saying I'll have what he's having, that's what you're having.
Exactly,
right?
Man. And I'm prescribing it for everyone. Charles Woodson wines, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, and that's 24 wines, correct? Is that what it is? 24wines.com?
It's 24 wines, but we're transitioning, Rich, to Charles Woodson wines.
How much longer are you going to do this football thing, Charles? What do you think?
I don't know, man. I know all I have is this season, is the way I'm taking it. And then once this season is over, I'll have a chance to think about the future. But I'm not thinking about the future right now. I'm thinking about 2015, man, and that's it.
Okay. And then this Saturday? In the big house.
This Saturday.
Where are you going to be watching it? In your hotel room in Tennessee? Is that where you'll be watching it?
Yeah. You know what? I'm sure we have walkthroughs and the whole thing, man. Which is kind of bumming me out right now.
Del Rio understands. Ken Norton understands.
I'm gonna have to have somebody, man. Maybe I'll be able to carry my phone through walkthrough. Maybe he'll let me watch it.
Here's a neat thing, Charles. Here's a neat thing. Rod Woodson, fellow GOAT.
Yeah.
He went to Purdue. He's a Big Ten guy. He understands.
Yeah.
He knows me. So does Ken Norton and the coach.
Yep.
Tell him I gave you the pass.
Damn, just like that.
That's it. Just
like
say,
that.
A, look at my stats. B, Rich Eisen said so. Tell him that.
And say Nick Thune's right behind him.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You think you can write me a note?
Done.
I can give it to the cool.
Done. Cool. I will write that out, and I'm sending it to you.
Give me the permission slip, man, and there it is. It's all worked out.
Charles, you take care. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Rich.
You bet. That's Charles Woodson.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.